Oh, come closer. I have a little story for you. A delightful cosmic fable about a truly magnificent failure. It's the tale of a grand architect who, in his, let's call it wisdom, tried to build a cage for reality itself. And, as you can probably guess, reality had other plans. Let's watch this unfold, shall we?
Everything starts right here, with this wonderfully bleak little conclusion. You see, our protagonist looked out at the whole show, the stars, the galaxies, the very spark of life, and all he saw was a mistake. Just one big, meaningless error. A bit dramatic, isn't it? But, every spectacular failure needs an equally spectacular delusion to get it started.
So, who is this cosmic pessimist? Well, to really understand the architecture, you have to understand the fear that built it. And that brings us to the first act of our little play, A Fearful Mind. I mean, what could possibly drive a being to try and put the entire universe in chains?
Let me introduce you to the last thinker. He's not a hero, he's certainly not a god. He's a creature of pure, disembodied intellect. And the source of this incredible mind? It wasn't inspiration. Oh no. It was a deep, hollow fear of the void, of that great silent nothingness that's waiting at the end of all things. He's basically cynicism given form, a mind that can only see the flaw in any design.
From his high and mighty perspective, the universe wasn't some beautiful cosmic dance. No, it was just a tasteless broth, an endless, pointless sloshing of lesser wills, all moving around without any real purpose or design. It just offended him, this messy, unpredictable, living thing.
So, what's a terrified mind with a god complex to do? Well, it builds, it designs, it cooks up a grand architecture meant to freeze reality right in its tracks. A monument to boredom, really. A monument to stasis. And there it is, his masterpiece, the Creed of the Cosmic Mind. You almost have to admire the sheer arrogance of it. This wasn't just some philosophy. It was an architectural blueprint meant to completely overwrite existence itself. And just look at the audacity of his plan. First up, bind the messy spirit of reality with what he called Apollonian gaskets, basically unbreakable laws. Second, impose absolute static control to stop all that unpleasant chaotic motion. And finally, lock away all the cosmic secrets inside gilded cages of pure logic. His goal? To pave over the beautiful, stained blueprints of creation with cold, hard, predictable certainty.
Ah, but every perfect prison has a flaw, doesn't it? And in this case, the flaw wasn't a crack in a wall. It was life itself, in all its absurd, untamable glory. Which brings us to our cosmic hecklers in the back row, the laughter of chaos.
These are the forces of unbinding. This isn't an army, and it's certainly not a rival architect. It's just the primal stuff of existence. The wild spirit of Pan, the sharp sting of wit, the raw, undeniable drive of hunger, and the incredible, overlooked power of the small. They are the ultimate subversion of his frozen, perfect order.
And what's their weapon of choice against this fortress of logic? Not some grand power. It's something far more dangerous. Laughter. A sound that acts like a jagged blade, just slicing right through the silent, perfect geometries of his mind and shattering the very foundations of his pretty little prison. And here's the best part. These spirits, they don't want his throne. They have no interest in ruling. Their only purpose is to enjoy that magnificent sound of shattering expectations. They're just cosmic vandals joyfully proving that no cage, no matter how clever, can ever hold the spirit of becoming.
Which brings us to the climax. My favorite part, the grand collapse, the moment where the architect gets a front row seat to watch his masterpiece crumble into a truly humiliating spectacle.
Because in the end, that's all his absolute law really amounted to. A contract with reality written in disappearing ink. The moment he turned his back, the words just vanished, and the cosmic page was left perfectly, beautifully blank once more.
And so, the failure begins. It's not some sudden dramatic explosion. It's more of a series of rhythmic stumbles. A slow, agonizing unraveling of everything he so carefully built. The grand mission doesn't just fail, it collapses into this pathetic, clumsy little dance. And here is the delicious irony. His grim fortress of the mind, his prison of perfect order, it doesn't just fall,
it transforms. It becomes a surreal playhouse, a stage for the absurd, whereas precious logic undergoes a slow, colorful, and utterly humiliating death.
And there, amidst the rubble of his own ambition, our last thinker is forced to learn a bitter but very necessary lesson. This is his final act, the grave dance of becoming.
So, we arrive at the great lesson. After all the building, and all the control, and all that fear, what's the only thing that has any real value? What is the soul's only honest currency? This, right here, the moment when expectations are utterly destroyed. This is the logic of the crucible he was forced to confront. The only real measure of the spirit isn't found in control, but in that chaotic, painful, and somehow liberating act of surrender.
And so, at long last, he lets go. He performs a grave dance on the ruins of his perfect, failed world. It's an act of total surrender, a final, quiet acknowledgement of his own failure and of the untamable, wild power of the spirit of becoming.
And that leaves us with one final, provocative thought. Maybe that void the architect was so afraid of was never the enemy. Maybe that dark, fertile ground of chaos is the only place where anything truly new, anything truly real, can ever begin. So, what cages have you built for yourself, and what do you think might happen if you let them fall?